Hi everybody! I just recorded this video, but I forgot to actually push the record button, which is fun. I was just sitting here talking to myself essentially. It's okay. There's no one really to hear me, I hope. So this is the Avengers bunker. I decided to do it underground because I thought maybe like the Avengers, when they're in this world of the Sims, maybe they're trying to be like low-key and not have everybody know who they are. I grabbed the Avengers off the gallery. I didn't make them myself, but I kind of just like set them on a plot of grass and like bid them farewell and played with my other Sims. And in the meantime, they all got jobs and they all work at the gym except for he works at he is a barista at the coffee shop, which I thought was great. So I figure they're just trying to live like a normal life for whatever reason. Maybe they're undercover, maybe they're just like taking a vacation from superhero work. I'm not quite sure. They're probably undercover though. And so right here I was trying to put the Avengers A logo on the ground. And I was struggling with those little half tiles, as you can see. I could not figure out how to do a diagonal line. I got it eventually, but like, it looks like a hot mess right now. Oh look, it's starting to take shape. And I used the metal flooring for this. I thought that would be really cool if it was like kind of industrial looking. And my thought was that Tony probably had this built and designed and couldn't make like a huge building that everyone can see because it's underground, obviously. So he probably wanted to do something crazy. So he put in this giant foyer with a big emblem on the bottom. And then there's that giant space rock, which, I don't know, I assume they fought a lot of aliens. Thor's from a different planet, so like they probably have collected some things throughout the universe, and that's probably why they have like different space rocks around the house. And right here I was just trying to adjust the size of the room. How the A was situated, it made the room look really uneven, even if it was like really centered. So I decided to like try to put the circle around the A like the real Avengers logo has, but I didn't know how I was going to do that with just a little half tile or quarter tile thing, so I decided to just do a square. And then the black background is like that pebbly black stone, which I really like. It kind of reminds me of like caviar, which sounds nasty, but that's what I imagine it looks like. I really liked it, but then like from far away, or when I would zoom in and out, it looked a lot like back in the day when you would watch the TV and it would just be like an open channel and it was like a black fuzzy screen, so I didn't like that. So then I put down this marble, but I didn't really like that either. It looks kind of like linoleum, or like there's all this industrial stuff about, and then there's just shiny, shiny marble. I didn't really like it. So here I'm trying to change it, but I didn't realize that I was on the whole room tile setting, so I couldn't put just one individual tile down. It just kept changing the whole room. So I decided to go back and deal with that later. And here I am putting on the kitchen. So I thought they might, yeah, there I am struggling. I thought they might have like common areas, like a kitchen, this giant foyer, a family room, and a gym. Then they each have their own bedrooms, or maybe they have like a kitchenette or something in it. I'm not quite sure yet, but they've got definitely a place that they can go on their own. There we go, I finally figured out the tiles. And I wanted this to look very uncluttered. Like, Tony probably likes minimalist things, so when he decorated it, he put very few items out unless they were needed. But in the bedrooms, people obviously, it's their space, they'll do what they want. And I was trying to find the space pictures that look like the cosmos, but I couldn't. I don't know why. So I just ended up putting these other pictures up. And then later on I found the cosmos pictures, so I put those in the dining room. And the door, it was not centered. It was not centered properly when I decided to put it in, because it was like one square too small. So it was going to have to be off center, but I had like rearranged this room so many times I didn't want to do it again. So I just kind of put a window on the side and called it good. Which is probably horrible, but I was fine with it. It was aight. Here I am just putting all the lights in. So like I said before, I just put the Avengers down in a plot of grass and kind of said, good luck. So when I first built this and within the first few seconds I put it in live mode, they started like running down those stairs and heading to the kitchen and like eating, and they were falling asleep on the couches and stuff. And I felt really bad because I had to kick them all back out again so I could take some screenshots so they weren't like jamming their face full of food in the background. So they were very sad about that. I had to wake a few of them up, and the Hulk was like trudging out quietly. I imagine he was weeping to himself as he walked back up those stairs. But I'll let him back in eventually. And I imagine they would need a lot of appliances, like they probably eat a lot. So there's 2 of everything, just in case. There we go. Putting the counters in. I don't know if I said this before. Yeah, I said this in the last video, but my computer is very laggy, so like I will expand a room and it will take at least 10 seconds for the room to actually expand. So I'll do something and then 10 seconds later it will finally like finish doing it. So it's a little frustrating, but it's aight. And then I noticed the chairs didn't match, so I switched them around in a second. And they have 2 dishwashers because you know what? Sometimes 1 dishwasher isn't enough. I grew up with a big family, and sometimes if there wasn't enough room in the dishwashers, you had to wash it by hand, and that was just a pain. Just get a second dishwasher, you know? So I put bricks on the background just to kind of break up like the cement, but I ended up changing it later. I don't know, I kind of wanted it to look more uniform, especially in the kitchen and like entryway. So I changed that in a sec. Or maybe near the end, I'm not quite sure. And then I put some more of those space rocks out, like I said before, to kind of represent all the stuff they've done, their travels, where they're from. Kind of to remind them that they're Avengers and they've done pretty awesome stuff. And then I finally found the space pictures I was looking for originally, but I like them in here. I feel like they match the chairs and the rugs I'm about to put down. I say rugs because I put down 2. I wanted to put down 1, but then I started to have issues, as you'll see in a second. So I put down 1 rug on a diagonal. I was like, let's try this. And I didn't really like it, so I was just going to straighten it out. But my game wouldn't recognize the rug anymore. Like, I couldn't click on it. It would just select the whole room, as you can see me trying over and over. So I finally decided to put another rug on top of it and be like, I meant to do that. So it's a little funky, but you know, it's okay. And this is when I decided to go back to like the other kind of wall. And then here I am putting those nut and bolt nuts, I don't know. But I really like them. Like, they're very industrial looking. They are like useless when it comes to actually putting off light, especially in a room that big, but you know, they look nice. Like those giant space rocks. They're useless, but they look nice. And then here I'm making the hallway and the bedrooms. So I just started off by making 5 bedrooms. I'm not quite sure why. And then I realized that wasn't going to be enough because the Avengers I got from the gallery, it includes all 6 of the Avengers. And then it has Bruce Banner, so you have the Hulk and Bruce Banner, and then there's Pepper Potts. So I decided to put Pepper and Tony in the same room. And then, I don't know, the Hulk and Bruce can share a room, I guess. But I would imagine they would have very different very different design preferences. Like the Hulk would want things that were like indestructible and maybe like not very many like little tchotchkes. I don't know if Bruce would like tchotchke, whatever that word is, but imagine Bruce would have like some more sensitive, scientific-y things. Yeah, that's probably the word he would use too. Scientific-y. And then here I am putting in the family room. Oh, and then if you notice, there's like a tiny little bedroom on the top, and I figured that could be Captain America's because he probably wouldn't care. He probably grew up in like a small house. And I want to decorate it very 40s because I think that's how he would be most comfortable. So here I am doing the family room. Off the family room is a gym where they can all work out. And then there's going to be a pool area where I guess you can work out too. I just kind of drown whenever I go in the pool. It's not really much of a workout. It's more of like a panic session. But I imagine they're probably pretty good at life, so they can do it. In fact, doesn't Captain America go like swimming in the first one to like get that guy? I think he does. Funny story about that. I have like a list of the top 5 best looking people in the world, because who doesn't? And Chris Evans is on that, and so is Richard Armitage, however you say his name. Anyway, and they were both in the scene in the first Captain America. He was the one who like was trying to spy on Captain America when he first became like Captain America and got all like bulked up and everything. Anyway, tidbits. Little known trivia. And then I really like the size of this rug I put in. It just filled that space fabulously. And at this point my move objects wasn't working, like my computer would freeze up if I tried to use it. So that little ottoman thing is kind of off. I wanted to put it like farther in, but I couldn't. And I was just trying to put a couple more things in. I didn't want too many things, but just a few. And you know when you have roommates and some of them are like really considerate and don't leave their stuff in public spaces? I feel like I was pretty good about that as a roommate, but my personal space, like my bedroom, was probably a disaster. So I imagine that's how these guys are. They don't really leave stuff out in the common areas. Maybe the Hulk does, he probably doesn't care. But they would like leave their messes for their own private rooms. And I really wanted to put in that like llama game, but I don't think it goes on adult tables. I think it's just for kids, which is pretty sad because I would play that. So I decided to put all these games in just to kind of like give them a little stress relief, something to do. And then, oh, these are the doors going into the gym. And I thought if it was glass doors all the way across, it would like make it look more open, seeing as how it's underground. And I put up the movie posters because I figured Tony was like probably a movie fan. He's probably kind of a geek, and maybe he like helped fund some of these movies. I'm not quite sure. Or like he knows the actors and actresses, so he would put those up. And then I put a dartboard, and I put like this picture of a green person on top, or like it's green in the background, and it reminded me of Loki. So I figured like when Thor was particularly mad at his brother, you could like throw at the darts up at the picture of Loki instead of on the dartboard. I thought that would be fun. So yeah, like I said, there are glass windows going into the gym, which I would hate because then everyone could just like be playing their games and look over at you sweating. But I imagine these people are all like, they're all pretty fit and they've all got pretty good bodies, so they probably don't mind showing them off. They're probably like, look at this. You're welcome. I don't know, that's what I would say if I looked like that. And then here are the screenshots. I really like how it turned out. Yeah, in the next video I'll just work on the bedrooms and more of the public areas. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!